The stars burned brightly across the void, but the galaxy's peace had long been shattered. War had spread from system to system, leaving destruction in its wake. The Xeran coalition, confident in their unmatched technology and overwhelming fleet, advanced toward the Jural system, a strategically vital cluster of worlds rich in resources and home to countless innocent colonies. Their warships moved like predatory hunters, weapons charged, sensors scanning, and minds sharpened for battle. On the bridge of the Xeran flagship, Admiral Vorin watched the holographic display of the battlefield. Waves of human-like ships, though these were only rumors, stories told by fleeing scouts, were said to exist somewhere in this sector. "No human fleet will interfere here," he said, voice cold and certain. His confidence was shared across the coalition's ranks. They had faced countless species, each believing themselves formidable, and each had fallen before the might of the Xeran war machine. Humans, according to intercepted communications, were primitive and insignificant. The battle began with the efficiency of a well-rehearsed dance. Xeran destroyers carved through the outer defense satellites of the Jural system, and bombers struck colonies, flattening installations in precise waves. The human colonies had no chance, at least the coalition thought so. Then the sensors blinked. Something strange appeared, a ship. No, not a ship, nothing. It was as if the void itself had birthed it. The readings were odd. No energy signature, no heat, no movement pattern. It simply appeared, floating silently amidst the chaos, decloaking slowly with a shimmer of light that reflected against nearby asteroids. On the bridge, confusion spread. "Admiral, what is that?" asked Lieutenant Kron, pointing at the central display. Vorin leaned closer, narrowing his eyes. "Impossible," he muttered. "All cloaking tech is visible to our sensors. This thing—" his voice faltered. "It's human. It has to be." The humans had always been dismissed as backward, weak, and uncoordinated. Yet here they were, a single massive warship appearing without warning, poised between the Xeran fleet and the Jural colonies. Its hull was unlike anything the Coalition had seen. Angular, practical, functional, yet beautiful in a way that screamed efficiency. No excessive ornamentation, no wasted energy. It was as if the ship had been built to survive anything, adapt to anything, and fight anything. Then it moved. And the battle changed forever. Energy beams struck the nearest destroyers, not in a wild flurry, but with precision and control. Shields flared and collapsed under the unexpected power, leaving the Xeran vessels vulnerable. Missiles were intercepted before they could detonate, their explosions harmlessly vaporized mid-space. The humans were calm, measured, almost serene. On board the human ship, Commander Elena Riker watched the displays with quiet determination. "Target the command frigate," she ordered. Her voice carried authority without arrogance. "We strike hard, but we strike smart. Protect the colonies. Avoid unnecessary damage." The crew responded instantly, moving as one. Humans had always thrived under pressure, adapting faster than any AI or automated system could predict. Their ship maneuvered gracefully, weaving between asteroids and energy blasts, exploiting every weakness in the Coalition's formation. Back on the Xeran flagship, Vorin was furious. "Shields are holding, but they are not supposed to move like that. Increase firepower. Focus everything on that ship." "Admiral, multiple systems are being disabled, our sensors, weapons, even communications are lagging," Kron reported, panic creeping into his voice. It's almost as if they anticipated every move before we made it." Vorin slammed a clawed hand on the console. "Humans, they're supposed to be weak." Meanwhile, the human ship continued its elegant destruction. One strike dismantled a communications relay. Another disabled the flagship's maneuvering thrusters. No lives were lost unnecessarily, no colonies harmed. Yet the power of the humans became evident to all who watched. A single ship could challenge an entire battle formation and emerge unscathed. Reports began to spread through the Coalition. Fleets in nearby systems intercepted the chaos. "It's only one human vessel," one commander said nervously, "but it moves like hundreds." Humans, though underestimated, had a history of thriving in impossible situations. This was not luck. This was instinct, intelligence, and ingenuity, a combination the galaxy had never seen applied with such efficiency. As the battle continued, Riker's voice came over the ship's intercom, calm but firm. "Prepare for boarding resistance units. We may need to recover Coalition survivors for intelligence, but avoid unnecessary casualties. This is a demonstration, not a slaughter. This was what made humans so dangerous. They were not reckless, yet they were unstoppable. Each action had a purpose, and each purpose was executed with ruthless precision. The aliens began to whisper fearfully to each other. The stories they had heard about humans, primitive, insignificant, were wrong. Dead wrong. Hours passed, but the human ship did not falter. Where the Ziran fleet attempted to adapt, the humans had already anticipated their next move. Using gravity wells of nearby planets, asteroids, and debris fields, the human vessel performed maneuvers that no alien vessel could survive without catastrophic damage. Finally, the flagship of the Ziran coalition, a massive spire of metal and energy, was left vulnerable. Its shields flickered under repeated strikes, and its crew began to panic. Admiral Vorin, prideful and confident mere hours ago, now realized that his arrogance had been his undoing. "Signal retreat," he barked, though his voice lacked the authority it once carried. We cannot hold against this human." The human ship, after disabling key systems, did not pursue. It had proven a point, protected the colonies, and demonstrated a power the galaxy had never expected. Then, as silently as it had arrived, it vanished again into the void, leaving no trace. Across the galaxy, whispers began. Stories spread of a human ship that appeared from nowhere, fought without error, and left entire fleets stunned. The legend of the human race, the underestimated, the resilient, the ingenious, was born that day. Colonies recovered, fleets regrouped, but no one could forget what they had seen. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. Commander Riker watched the stars from her bridge, eyes steady, voice calm. "They will remember this," she said quietly. "We are here now, and we are ready." Somewhere in the galaxy, an alien fleet reported their losses, faces pale with fear and confusion. They are not like anyone we've faced," one said. Another whispered, "The humans. We underestimated them. We will not survive next time." The galaxy had not forgotten the name whispered across star systems: humans. One ship had arrived, struck with precision, and vanished. But now, months later, intelligence reports warned that the human threat, or promise, depending on perspective, was growing. The Ziran coalition, still recovering from the shock of their earlier defeat, had retreated to their stronghold systems. They rebuilt fleets, developed new weapons, and studied the mysterious humans who had humiliated them. Yet, despite all their preparations, they could not predict the humans' next move. Humans had a reputation for unpredictability. Their ingenuity was legendary, their resolve unbreakable. In a quiet sector near the Orion Verge, a human forward base monitored coalition movements. Commander Elena Riker, still in command of the same ship that had stunned the galaxy, observed her displays carefully. "They are reinforcing," she said, her voice calm but firm. "But they are slow, predictable. We strike where they are weak, not strong." Her crew, a mix of humans trained in multiple disciplines, nodded silently. Every member knew the stakes. They were not just fighting a war. They were reshaping the galaxy's understanding of humanity. The ambush coalition fleets moved into position near the mining world of Vashar Prime. They believed the humans would not intervene. After all, only a few humans had been seen before. A single ship could not pose a serious threat to an entire armada, or so they thought. Then, as the coalition's flagship prepared to launch an orbital strike on the planet's industrial cities, sensors detected a familiar anomaly. A human ship had decloaked once again, appearing in the heart of the enemy formation. Its hull gleamed under distant starlight, engines silent until it moved, and weapon systems glowing softly, ready to fire. Admiral Vorin, his pride shattered from the previous encounter, felt dread claw at his chest. "Impossible. Again," he whispered. How are they here?" The humans acted with precision. While the coalition scrambled to organize their defenses, the ship split into multiple attack vectors using decoy drones and holographic projections. Each movement was carefully calculated, designed to confuse, delay, and dismantle. Energy beams cut through the lead destroyers, disabling weapons and engines. Missiles intended for the human ship detonated harmlessly as their guidance systems were scrambled by advanced human countermeasures. The aliens realized, too late, that their overwhelming numbers meant nothing against tactics they could not predict. The human edge commander Riker studied the battle calmly. "Deploy boarding units," she ordered. "Disable command centers, but keep civilian infrastructure intact. We need intelligence, not destruction." Within minutes, small human crafts detached from the main ship. They moved like shadows, entering the crippled enemy vessels. Within hours, key systems on the Coalition's ships were offline. Communications were jammed, shields collapsed, and morale plummeted. Coalition commanders attempted to rally their fleets, but humans were already 3 steps ahead. Using gravity wells and asteroid belts, Riker maneuvered her ship where the enemy least expected it. When the flagship fired its massive plasma cannons, the humans were gone, reappearing behind smaller vessels, striking at weak points that even the aliens hadn't noticed. A lieutenant on the human ship spoke over the comms, excitement barely restrained. "They're falling apart, Commander. They can't adapt fast enough." Riker's eyes remained steady. "Keep focus. The galaxy is watching. Show them why humans survive where others fail." Psychological warfare by now, word of the humans' capabilities spread through Coalition ranks. Panic and confusion replaced confidence. Sailors whispered about impossible maneuvers, about a species that seemed to predict every move. On one fleet command bridge, a young officer trembled. "Admiral, they are everywhere and nowhere. They are humans." "Yes," the Admiral admitted, voice tight. "And we have underestimated them. We cannot survive them like this. We must retreat, or risk total annihilation." Meanwhile, the human ship did not pursue fleeing fleets unnecessarily. Instead, Riker directed her forces to protect planetary populations and secure critical systems. She demonstrated that humanity's strength was not only in combat, but in strategy, foresight, and morality. Humans fought to survive, to defend, and to protect, never recklessly, but always decisively. Coalition soldiers began to surrender in small numbers, unwilling to face a species so unpredictable, so clever, and so determined. Their leaders struggled to maintain order, but panic spread faster than any human attack. The decisive strike. The climax came near the gas giant Author 9. Coalition forces attempted a final stand, concentrating every ship and weapon they had left. They believed sheer firepower would overwhelm the humans, but humans had already prepared. Using the gas giant's atmosphere and electromagnetic storms, Riker's ship executed a series of maneuvers the aliens had never encountered. Plasma cannons were redirected, shields disrupted, and targeting systems scrambled. Coalition ships began to collide, misfire, and drift helplessly in the void. In one final calculated strike, Riker's ship disabled the flagship's primary reactor, rendering it dead in space. Explosions tore through the armada as remaining vessels attempted to flee. Humans did not destroy indiscriminately. They struck to disable, to neutralize, to demonstrate superiority without unnecessary carnage. When the dust settled, the Coalition's fleet was broken. Entire systems were liberated from immediate threat. Colonies celebrated, civilians cheered, and reports of human capability spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, species who had once dismissed humanity as weak now trembled at the thought of underestimating them. The human message. After the battle, Riker transmitted a simple message across Coalition channels. "We came to protect the innocent. We came to demonstrate that humanity survives. Consider this a warning. Underestimate us no more. The galaxy will know our name, and it will remember it." No threats, no arrogance, just clear, unwavering truth. The message resonated across the stars, a testament to humans' intelligence, morality, and unstoppable resolve. In the aftermath, humans began assisting colonies previously under occupation, restoring systems, rebuilding infrastructure, and rescuing survivors. Their presence became a symbol of hope, courage, and ingenuity. Even the most advanced species began to study humans, attempting to understand how one ship, or one species, could change the balance of power in the galaxy. The answer was simple. Humans were adaptable, intelligent, and relentless. They survived where others failed, and they thrived when the odds were impossible. The legacy begins as Riker's ship vanished into the void once more. Whispers began to spread. They are unstoppable. They are unpredictable. They are humans. Across distant star systems, fleets began to rethink strategy. Alliances shifted and civilizations reconsidered their arrogance. Humanity was no longer a minor species in the galactic hierarchy. They were a force, a symbol, and a legend. Commander Riker, standing on the bridge, gazed at the stars. "We are here," she said softly, "and this is only the beginning." Somewhere, far beyond known space, other humans prepared to join the fight, inspired by the same courage and resolve that had defined the first encounter. The galaxy had been stunned by one ship. Soon it would understand the true extent of humanity's reach.